For this advanced meeting 447, I'm welcoming you all present here. I'm Yamuna, Director for Smarties, hosting today's event. I welcome Chairman Person of the team, Mr. Gautam Pal. Sir, we are all eagerly waiting for your speech. Welcome you, sir. Let me welcome Prime Mover, Ram Babu, sir. Now I would like to hand over. Yes, sir.
I feel very happy to introduce one of my team members of this foundation. He is a chairman of this foundation, Coach Gautam Paul from Kolkata, India. Whenever he comes forward to take session, I may get some questions from people's side. Sir, what Gautam Paul sir is going to teach this time? What kind of concept? What he is going to deal? He is really a versatile presenter. And also, whatever content he brings, that content would definitely helpful the majority of the people in their day-to-day life. That is the reason I have called him as a versatile. He is a great supporter with a true heart, and he is the father of two beautiful angels. Once he commit anything, he definitely stands on that. I have experienced 3 to 4 times. I wouldn't expect, but suddenly he gives some surprises. Yes, sir, I'll do this. We can do this. If we do this, it would be fine for our foundation as well as for the welfare of people. I personally, even the sharEvery community personally, feels very, very, very happy to have such a great heart. There are many pillars, but he is one of the strongest pillar in sharEvery. And we are going to take many takeaways. That's it from my end. Hearty welcome, Coach Gautam sir. The stage is yours. Keep it up.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from Bharat. First, admit that every individual is different. I am not here to give you favorable answer or favorable things what you want. This is not possible. There are so many buzzing in internet about the human health. Just go to internet, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, the YouTube. Search the health and you will get so many recommendations, right? Do this, don't do this. Don't you think you are too much perplexed? Do you think everybody wants to be a Pravas? No. There are so many normal human beings who want to live their life fit. If you search in the internet, slim is fit and fit is slim. Is it really true? To know this perfectly, we should go and delve into our physiology of human body. If you know the process, I'm telling you the rudimentary process. I'm not telling about diving deep into it, but at least rudimentary. If you know that particular thing, you can search or you can churn that words which process to be follow or which not to follow. Simple. So I want to plate you something which is very factual and rest of pure. I prefer that today I will play 2 topics about a human body and the processes little bit, 2 elements, and you can decide yourself what is the right, what is wrong, what is myth, what is real. It will be up to you after the session. Human body is a very miracle thing, and give you a small example that human body is made up by 37 trillion cells, 37 trillion, and in a second 37 billion trillion biochemical reaction is going on in your body in a second. And because of that reactions, that physiological action, you are all active and alive. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible. Two person, one male, one female, the element that our body made of. I am going to talk about two elements today, that is fat and water, which contains about, in male, 20% fat. We made of 20% of fat and 59% of water. Believe it or not, whatever your weight is, it is 59%. If you're a male, 59% it is water, and 20% it's about fat. And if you are a female, 52% water and 29% fat. And simultaneously 14% of protein, 17% of protein, and 5% of minerals and other nutrients are there. That's the kind of element we are made of. So internet buzzing word is a fact. We should shred our fat. And we are trying to do this, many of the people. Do you know what is the activity of fat in body? Think about that. You don't have any fat in your body. That means 20% fat, there is nothing. Do you think you will be alive? The answer is, I think no. What do you think? You can type it on comment box. So whenever talking about fats, one more buzzing word, that is carbohydrates, popularly known as carbs. There is a Pinterest called carbs. We have so many things around us, so many foods, so-called superfoods. They are saying they're low carbs or low fat. There are things, and we tend to take this, paying a bigger amount. So let's deep down into what is carbohydrates. There are so many chemical answers are there, but I am not going into it. I am going to very, very rudimentary, just for your understanding. Carbohydrates are carbs, are sugar molecules. That is chini or sugar. You can take it as a carbohydrate. What is the work of the carbohydrates? That works as a fuel of your body. If you don't have any carbohydrate in your body, your energy production was low. Whatever activity you are doing, you can't do it. Because whatever the energy you are getting, that is from carbohydrates. Carbohydrate break down into glucose, and glucose run the body. So this is the process of carbohydrates or sugar molecules. So now my question is that whenever someone's telling you, you should cut down your carbohydrates, maybe right by your notion, but factually it is not always right, because carbohydrates are the fuels. Suppose you have a car but don't have any fuel. Is there any value of this your car? No. You can't do anything with the car without fuel. So carbohydrates are the fuel. We are acting. Importance of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates provides the energy to the body. Don't go the other, right? And supplies energy to the brain. Without carbohydrate, because no carbohydrate means no energy, and no energy means no physiological action is there. As I told you earlier, that 37 billion trillion biochemical reactions are going on. For this reaction, you need energy. And for this energy, you need carbohydrate. Carbohydrate prevents the breakdown of protein for energy. For rudimentary, I am telling about the protein. Protein is a certain substances that protects your muscle, which helps to build your muscles. Whatever the muscles you have, without protein, the muscles will not be there. So this is the binding material, you can say. So if you don't have any energy or carbohydrates in your body, then what body does? Body actually try to break this protein and transfer it into energy to run your body in emergency. For instance, I am telling you that if anyone is suffering for long for that, there is a muscle loss. Remember, if you don't have any carbohydrate, what is going to happen to your body? Then fat metabolism. The extra energy is stored as a fat. Whatever you are eating, it turns into glucose, and every cell needs fuel. The fuel is glucose. Whatever the glucose need, capitalized by the cell, and the excess energy or excess glucose, whatever in the blood it is available, it is stored as a fat. How it works? When you are fasting, suppose haven't taken any food for 12 hours or 15 hours. So have you ever think that how your energies are same? even though you are not taking food for 12 hours, because the body is taking energy from the stored fat. So this is a very vital activity done by carbohydrates. So I think now you can understand the carbohydrates are good and very essential for our body. Let's deep dive into some classification. Carbohydrates are classified two types. Don't take it very deep, right? One is simple carbohydrate and second is complex carbohydrate. Give you a very brief idea about what is simple carbohydrates. I'm just telling you that whatever you are eating, just bite it or swallow or take it, munch it sometimes, and immediately if you feel sugary, sweet in your mouth, that is simple carbohydrate. And if you are not feeling very sweet immediately after chewing or after having, that means they are the complex carbohydrate. So there is a catch. We should not take the simple carbohydrate. Ideally, we should take complex carbohydrate. Why? Examples of simple carbohydrate, that is sugar, your favorite, soft drinks, Coke, Pepsi, flour, lozenges, processed food, or some sweets, or gulab jamun, whatever you think, that comes under the simple carbohydrate, that is very much detrimental for your human health. And if you take complex carbohydrates, that is fruits, vegetables, bread, whatever you take, that is not sweet during munching or chewing, that is a complex carbohydrate and that is good for your health. You should know the absorption of carbohydrates, how carbohydrate works in our body. As I told earlier, the glucose or carbohydrates transfer into glucose and glucose is taken by the cell. Whatever the glucose you have absorbed in the bloodstream can't go directly into cells. They need medium, and the medium is insulin. Insulin works like a transporter. It take glucose and penetrate the glucose into the each and every cell. This is the work of insulin. And insulin secreted from pancreatic beta cells. Why I am telling about the insulin? Because there is also a buzzing word, that glycemic index. Every food has its own glycemic index, and you see the packaging, this low glycemic index is there, this particular food, and you can pay a hefty price for that, for actually purchasing the low glycemic index food. So what is glycemic index? Whenever we take any food or carbohydrate, the body immediately releases insulin just to transport that particular glucose into your cells. So whenever you take the simple carbohydrate, immediately it goes to your bloodstream. Body needs a high amount of insulin. You can see in the graph, the red graph, that is the food which needs high insulin to dissolve it, to penetrate into blood, into cells. It is called high glycemic index. Now let's jump into the most buzzing word, that is fat. Should you have fat? So what is the role of fat in your body, or body fats? Body fats actually provides energy, storage fat for future use. I told you that whenever you are fasting, how your body is performing the physiological process because of the stored fat. Protein protects from injury. Fat is situated in between the skin and the muscular layer because it works as a cushioning. Whatever the vital organs you have, that is heart, kidney, liver, it is all protected by a layer of fat. Then this kind of fat act as a shock absorber. Suppose if there is a shock, vital organ will be protected because of the available fat on the outer surface. So it is very important to have fat in your body. And then vitamin absorption. Vitamin A, D, E, K can't be absorbed without fat because these vitamins are fat soluble. Vitamin A, D, E, K. If you don't have adequate fat in your body, you might have the deficient of vitamin A, D, E, K. And then the maintenance of body temperature, synthesis of steroid hormone. Now let's see, at least minimum fat you should have in your body. Essential fat average percentage in women is 13%, men is 2 to 5%. If it's in general, if you're athletes, then 14 to 20%. In female and male is 6 to 13%. If you're a fitness enthusiast, if you think you want to be fit always, if you're a woman, 21 to 24% and in men 14 to 17% fat should be there. And in average 25 to 31% in women, and men is 18 to 20%. And if you have fat more than 32% in your body, if you're a female, and male 25%, then you are a obese. Obese means mota, fatty. Body fat is measured by the body mass index, popularly known as BMI. And do you know how to calculate this BMI? And if you can calculate this BMI, you can easily understand, sitting on your chair and actually grasping the session, that are you obese, underweight, or normal weight, overweight, or obesity have not. Simple. Just go the calculation. Your weight in kg divided by your height in meters square. If you put this particular calculations, suppose I am 84 kg of weight, my height is 1.7 meter, approximately 1.78, 1.7. That means 84 divided by 1.74 into 2. If you can calculate this, you can calculate your BMI. If you can calculate BMI, eventually you get to know whether you have a extra fat in your body or not. If you are underweight, you should take some fat, my dear friend. Underweight means less than 18.5 BMI. If you have, definitely you should gain some weight. And normal BMI, that is 18.2 to 24. Overweight 25 to 29.9 average. And if your BMI is more than 30, then you should cut it off. And how? I will give you the process. You can easily measure, are you improving or not? Are you cutting down your fat from your body through some exercises or some different processes or not? Just size your waist, right? If you're fat, if you are obese, if your BMI is more than 30, then what should be your goal? Or if you have more than 25, what should be your goal? If you're a female, your waist should be 35 inches, less than 35 inches. And if you're a male, then your waist should be 40 inches, less than 40 inches, equal to. That means if you think your BMI is a little high, so what should be your goal? Just to reduce your waist size. Second part, as you know, the maximum portion of our weight, body weight, actually consists of water. And when the caption is water, a potent antioxidant, everybody says that you should take sufficient water, sufficient water. So what is the calculation behind sufficient? Anybody tells us? I haven't got any answer from any of our fitness enthusiasts that how much water we should take. Is there any calculations? And what water does to our body? Is water important? Yes. There is a simple thing in our body, that is free radical. Free radicals, in every cell there is a positive ion and negative ion. I told you earlier that there are so many biochemical activities are happening in cells. So because of this activity, the cells gets charged, positive charge or negative charge. It is called positive ion and negative ion. If it is positive ion, then it is very good for your body. If there is some negative ion or negative bonding, that create ruckus in your body, because they disrupt your normal physiological activity. That you should understand. And that negative ion is called free radicals. What they do to your body, they actually harm your cell membrane. Membrane means the outer layer of the cell, or scratch that particular cell membrane, and body need to use so much energy to repair, and this repair process going on, I think, every in and out, day in and day out, it is going on, scratching and repairing. It is a physical activity, but our desired goal should be to minimize the free radicals. To minimize the free radicals, we need antioxidant. Have you heard about the green tea? I think everybody knows about green tea, and what the fitness just tell that you should take 3 cups of green tea, because green tea is consist of so much antioxidant. So this is a work of antioxidant. They gulf the negative energy or negative ions from our cell and turned into positive. So minimum damage of cells are there. Remember, 37 trillion cells are there in your body. Sometimes you can feel that there is some energy less, but there is no something, you are not feeling like do something. Please do check, are you properly hydrated or not. It might be a reason of dehydration. And now, how do you know that you are dehydrated? Is there any process? Yes, there is a process. There is a called pinch test. Pinch test is there. Just take your hand and pinch in your skin, just to back it normal. If takes more than 2 seconds, that means you have dehydration, you are having dehydration. If it comes normal automatically within 2 seconds, then you are well hydrated. Please do the test, pinch test always. If you think you are having low energy, do the pinch test. If it is taking more than 2 seconds to get it straightened or tightened, so please consider yourself as dehydrated. Hope you have get it. Now, if you're taking juice or some watery substances, it can be counted as a water. Milk, juice, whatever you are taking, you can count it in your 2.5 liter of water. But if you are taking black coffee, the amount of black coffee you're taking, you should take double amount of water. Suppose you're taking 250 ml of black coffee, so you should compensate it with 500 ml of water immediately or after that, because coffee is a diuretic. What is diuretic? Diuretic is actually the excess water has been passing through our urine, and that diuretic promotes that you actually form urine with your excess water, whatever you have. This is called diuresis process. So you should know, if you're taking black coffee, definitely you have to be little bit of calculated. Now, should we gulp water or sip water? There is a science behind this. First 10 hours you can gulp water, but it is better after 10 hours you should sip water, not gulp, because it can create pressure on your bladder, right? Urinary bladder. Bladder is like a balloon. So you might have a nighttime urination, right? You might go to bathroom very frequently if you gulp after 10 hours water, because immediately the urinary bladder thinks that it is full, and it gives signal to your brain that you should go to bathroom and release some little bit of urine from your bladder to make it normal. So try to take water, but through sipping after 10 hours. And now question is, should we take water from water bottle, plastic bottles? There are so many questions out there. Yes, you can take it from plastic container, plastic bottles, but remember, plastic bottles contains chemicals. So if you're taking water from plastic bottles should not be exposed of heat. your plastic bottle should be in normal temperature, and you should not contain water for a long time in plastic bottle and take it. Just give you example, suppose you have a car and you take a bottle water in car, and you got out from the car keeping the bottle in the car, and after 10 hours you come to the car and start it and go somewhere else, and you are taking the same water which is keeping for 10 hours in a very humid or very high temperature. So you should not take this particular water bottle or take this water from that particular bottle. The bottle should be in cool place, otherwise the chemicals can leak, can start leaking, and it can mix with your water, and these chemicals are carcinogenic. In long term uses, this chemical causes cancer. These particular two things, that is fat, carbohydrates, and the natural antioxidant, that is water, is clear to you, and they are very much essential for your body. Having fat is not very good or not very bad, subjected that the how much fat you have are containing in your body. Now you have a BMI calculator, you can calculate and work accordingly. To give this remedy, if you go into the your mobile, there are so many things that you cut down your fat, you cut down your carbs, there are so many foods are there you should take. You should go for intermittent fasting, you should go for keto diet or diet always. So before doing that, you should know where you are. Every individual is different, and every element is essential for your body. You should not have deficiency of fat, carbohydrate, or protein some extent. The slim is always not fit. Factually, it is not right. This is end from my side. Now, check your BMI and calculate your fat and consider yourself. What should you do? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Bandekar, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Gautam sir. Really, it's a very nice session. First of all, I would like to congratulate to Mr. Gautam for a knowledge exchange session. The first point is the government of Bharat. So we have to observe the change, and we have to accept the change also. When we go to a session, generally people will feel what kind of session it is like that, but it's really an important session, which I feel so, because not only for me, even those who really like their bodies, they feel it's an important session, because ultimately we have to travel with our body till the end of our life. If you want to travel happily, means you have to take care of your own body. That is the main important thing from this session. So how to take care, and what are the things daily we are doing with that, especially like comes to what the body contains, right? What is the fat and what is the, yes, people know about water contains major portion from the body, like 70 or 80% like that. But apart from that, what other contains? Suppose water contains 80%, then what about 20%? So that is a measure of this session today. People will feel fat, means they have a wrong notion that fat means it's very dangerous to the health. Okay, a little bit we can accept fat means it's little bit of dangerous to health, but not 100%. So we have to think what is right, what is wrong, what is real, and what is myth. So those who are really doing meditation or pranic healing, they will not get to know about it, what actually about today's session. and also carbohydrates, the major important energy factors for total body. Definitely, even proteins also important, but major among the proteins, carbohydrates are also equally important, which are safeguards. It acts like a police to us, a police and a common man. A police is always a safeguard to a commoner, right? Like that, carbohydrates also act as like an safeguard to our complete body, like simple and complex carbohydrates. But simple, yes, looks very yummy to eat always. It attracts us. It attracts us. But complex means it's difficult to chew. But when we chew, definitely we'll get some energy from out of that. So really complex carbohydrates are very good for health, and also importance of fat. The very best example that it helps from injury. Very best example and very good one. You may have 100 of examples, but a straightforward example, it helps and protects us from injury. And a good concepts of BMI, body mass index, right? Yes, everybody has to understand. Suppose if I'm lean means I'm not good at health, or if someone is fat means they're not, they're over obese, like that. It's not like that. We have to calculate the scientific reason for BMI, and really they are lean or really they are obese. Suppose if they are not obese, then they don't want to cut their fat. No need for cut to fat also. So like these sessions, and good example for pinch test. Really you are dehydrated or not, we can simply do by pinch test. Yes, it's useful for everyone, definitely, because not to go to doctor or not to eat too much of water also. Put a bottle like this and drinking every time, no need also. Do a pinch test and definitely can get to know about it. And last but not least, the plastic bottles. Yes, because we should not expose the plastic to the sun or heat or somewhere. If we start exposing without our notice also, it start melting us inside, and a lot of chemicals will be there which is going to mix with water. It will spoil our health also. So use the steel bottles if possible. So with all these kind of things, really it's a very useful session who really take care about their particular bodies. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your message.